Right now it is 8:33. I'm meteorologist Ross Held. We are tracking the very latest here with the snow that is on the way for later today. This is still on track. It's still a first alert weather day. And again, it goes into place for later this afternoon after we get that snow to arrive. So let's go through the latest details, the timing and the snow totals here that we're anticipating across the area. Again, the timeline here, we think snow begins between noon and 3 p.m., meaning dry conditions for the rest of the morning. Snow-covered roads, they're anticipated as we get into this evening especially. I think that's going to be the time frame where travel's the slowest around the area. We have slick conditions. 2 to 3 inches of snow expected overall. We could have some slightly higher totals in the southern part of the area. We'll break that down here momentarily. Now, we haven't had a whole lot of snow as of late, and I'm not just talking like this year or even part of last year. I'm talking over the last 3 years, or to be specific, the last 1,058 days, which comes out to about 35 months worth of time. We are a lot below normal, like 5.5 feet of snow below normal there during that time frame. But you see the number 2 there in red? That's the number of snowfalls that we've had above 2 inches in the last 1,058 days. 2. Today we think we'll put a number 3 on the board, as again we're looking at 2 to 3 inches of snow on the way. All right, let's take a look at these temperatures around the area right now. Again, we are down into the mid-teens. It is a cold start, slightly warmer in Findlay at 20. We're at 15 in Toledo, 13 degrees in Napoleon, 16 out to the lakeshore right now. You factor in not much of a wind, but a light breeze, and it feels slightly colder out there for this morning with wind chills in the single digits all the way to the teens here to get the day going. All right, the forecast hasn't changed at all. The Weather Service overnight, though, they did issue a winter weather advisory for your county. And we know that because every single county in the viewing area is under that winter weather advisory. Now, again, if you're watching, I say towards Cleveland or something like that, then perhaps it's not your county, but you can see that for our local viewing area, everybody's under that winter weather advisory. Depending on the county, it does go into place at different times as we go throughout the day. All right, you can see the system right now, heavy snow from Arkansas all the way to Atlanta, Georgia, dealing with that this morning. Also Tennessee in line for that. Now this cold front off towards the west is going to kind of help this all together, and odds are we really would get very little if any snow if that cold front wasn't kind of helping assist this all together. But again, we do have kind of 2 weather features here that are going to be working together. Now by looking at the radar picture right now, it looks like the snow is already developing, and this is pretty typical when you get some dry air in the leading edge of the snow. And the snow is falling back towards northeast Indiana right now. But again, it's dry air at the surface. It's going to take away some of that initially. Once we get to early afternoon, we should begin to get those first snow showers to actually produce snow and reach the ground. And then as we get towards the evening, that'll be the steadiest of it altogether. This is a look at predictor, and you can see again, not much going on over the next couple of hours. But as we get towards 1 p.m., you get a couple scattered snow showers to develop across the area. And we'll continue to have that to become steady snow as we head towards 5 o'clock for this evening, 6 o'clock, 7 o'clock. I think we're right in the thick of it. And then by 10 p.m., things become a little more scattered in nature, and it slowly tapers of flurries overnight tonight into early tomorrow morning with more of a partly cloudy sky developing as we get late into the day for tomorrow. All right, let's go over to those snow totals here. And again, not a whole lot has changed. We'll start with the regional picture if you're doing some traveling, and then we'll zoom in on our local area here. But you see as much as 4 inches of snow or more. That's from Indianapolis, Dayton over to Cincinnati. So once again, these same spots have picked up like 8 to 12 inches of snow with the last storm. We'll get another 4 inches or more on top of it. Meanwhile, as you continue to get towards Fort Wayne, kind of about 3 inches, 3.5 inches of snow, a possibility there. And as we look a little bit closer to home here, you can see most of our local areas in that 2 to 3 inch range. From Paulding, Ottawa, Findlay, Upper Sandusky down to Lima, that corner there where we've got the darker blues, that's where we anticipate 3 to 4 inches of snowfall overall. But most here, 2 to 3 inches of accumulation. Real fluffy stuff too. For what it's worth, about 0.2 inches of liquid in that snow, and it'll fluff up to about 2.5 inches or so on average across the area. All right, chance for slick roads here. It's definitely a good chance of that coming up later on today. We're in the green right now. We'll be the green through midday. There's a slight chance for some slick conditions developing by 2 p.m. A better chance by 4 p.m. The highest chance 6 p.m. to about 10 p.m. here coming up for the later evening hours with a high chance of snow-covered roads and slick conditions. And then things slowly get better as we work our way towards tomorrow morning. All right, for today, 26 degrees, cold and cloudy for this morning. As we get into the afternoon, snow begins. By this evening, it becomes steady across the area with 2 to 3 inches of snow total across the area, with a low overnight tonight down to 21 degrees. And for tomorrow, will be around 30 degrees. A few snow flurries are a possibility here as we get into tomorrow with a partly cloudy sky coming up later into the day. Your first alert 7-day forecast showing again snow likely late for today into tonight. Beyond that, it's still going to be cold, highs around 30. That'll be Saturday, Sunday, and Monday. Speaking of Monday, it'll be Sunday night going into Monday. We get some scattered snow showers here as the clipper moves on in, and we may get a quarter to half inch of snow with it. There's not much there. But then some scattered lake effect snow showers develop on Tuesday, a 40% chance of snow with a high around 17. 19 is all on Wednesday. We warm back to 24 Thursday, 30 on Friday. 34 the following Saturday, finally above freezing. Then we sink below it again. It looks like another cold snap will arrive after that brief warm-up. Not this weekend, but the following weekend there. So they're talking like 17th, 18th, and 19th time period. And as temperatures warm, it's very possible we'll get a storm system with it, bringing a wintry mix or some snow. A lot of time on the clock to watch that and track it right now. There's quite a bit of confidence will moderate with the temperatures, and then it will fall once we get to the 20th and beyond, the 20th of January and beyond. But very little confidence on how a storm system comes together during that time frame at this time. All right, here's a look at the 10-day forecast compared to normal. And we get close to normal for those high temperatures a week from tomorrow. Everything else is pretty far below it, either by a few degrees or many degrees. As for the low temperatures, kind of in the same ballpark, although you see Saturday, the 18th there, will be well above the normal. That's the one day that looks a little mild from start to finish there overall. All right, that gets us caught up to date here for this morning on what we're watching and tracking. Quite honestly, if you've been watching us over the last 24 hours, you're like, yeah, I've seen that forecast already. There really hasn't been a whole lot that's changed. There's always a possibility things could shift and change, and if it does, we're going to let you know. But even if things are right on pace and it continues with the same timing, the totals and all that, we'll be watching it and tracking it and have updates as we go throughout the day today, going into this evening. All right, 8:40 here for this morning. Thanks for tuning in and watching. And once again, slow travels on those roads coming up for this evening as that snow begins to coat the roads. And even though it's not a big storm by our measures here in this part of the country this time of the year, it is definitely the biggest snow that we've had in about a year, because we just haven't had a whole lot to even compare it to at all. All right, once again, thanks for watching here for this morning. Have a good Friday.